Live League Game of the Day. Spritemare versus Mooji6. Olaf versus Sami.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another Live League Game of the Day. Today, we are on Frozen Fire Fog of War Edition. This is a triple base, double airport comm tower supported matchup. We have Mooji6 versus Spritemare, two very powerful players indeed. Spritemare is a fantastic up-and-comer when it comes to the Live League, climbing the ranks very quickly, getting some very notable wins. Mooji, literally one of the best fog players out there, folks. One of the best fog players out there. Guy's a menace to society. If you end up fighting Mooji in Fog of War, well, get that resign button ready, folks. Now, we have no idea what's going to happen in this matchup, though, because this is an interesting one. Frozen Fire has a little bit of a gimmick. Well, for one thing, we have a pre-deployed recon right here, which has vision on this base right here. So it's going to know when the infantry goes over here to capture this, but it's not going to know the infantry's movements going down south. So this little guy being the infantry, it's going to see everything from the waist up, but the legs are going to be the unknown factor here, folks. You have no idea what's going to be happening down there. Now, you might think to yourself, Sami, why is Mooji playing Sami in Fog of War? Isn't Sami like T4 when it comes to Fog of War? Well, she is, but in this map in particular, Frozen Fire, Sami is quite powerful. Now, because of the very quick reinforcement range for these bases here, it makes the mech units, and the infantry units right here extremely powerful because of the 2-day reinforcement range for the mechs. So that's why they're super powerful, folks. In addition to that, you know, Sami's Victory March and Double Time get a lot of usage over here. But on the other hand, Olaf just does Olaf things, folks. And if you fought in Olaf, or if you played in Olaf and you're familiar with Advanced Wars, you just kind of know that Olaf is dumb. It's just dumb, man. Global damage and snow is probably some of the most frustrating things to fight against, but some of the best things to use against other people. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the Live League today. Hawk music, folks. On the first few days, you all know the deal. Standard infantry builds, because you gotta get the infantry on the field, folks. It is the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. #2 priority in Advanced Wars by Web is make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you are not already for that hot Live League action, folks. All right. Infantry's already moving up into position here. We already have a mech over here from Mooji. Mech, like I said, mechs are going to be super effective in this map. And I think Spritemare is actually doing a really smart thing, putting his infantry onto the mountain to get vision before he rushes in there with his infantry, because Olaf is not going to win the infantry fight against Sami. It's just not going to happen. It's impossible. And if Sami manages to get both of the comm towers, it's going to be even more impossible because of those infantry are going to be super strong. Sami has a day-to-day ability, will get plus 30% firepower on her infantry. She gets both comm towers at plus 50%. That is stronger than Grim. You got some problems, folks, if you're fighting a 2-tower Sami. Now, Sami, her vehicle units definitely suffer quite a bit, but, you know, that's a minor thing in comparison to the overwhelming trauma that her infantry can cause to you. Now, we have an artillery build from Spritemare. Once again, I don't mean to toot anybody's horn, but I think artillery are pretty solid on this map. Now, normally, on this map in the standard format, artillery tend to show up a little bit later, but they are very effective in holding the line in the corners there. And this is a very difficult map to actually spread out your units, because lots of the time you find yourself spending so much effort actually holding the sides that you don't really get a whole lot of chance to spread to the middle. So it's definitely a little bit of take and go when it comes to this. You have to do a little bit of fighting on the sides, and then you have to send something, at least anything, over to the corners, or over to the middle. Sorry, getting all flabbergasted here. All right, Sammy already taken engagements here, folks. Spritemare moves in to take the engagement against the comm tower infantry, ends up getting smacked back, losing 90% health, but in counterattack, Spritemare actually manages to get a pretty big hit, taking the infantry all the way down to 1. Tries to finalize the KO with the 1 HP infantry, does not get it. Both infantry are safe, but I can guarantee you that both infantry are probably sitting at 2 health out of 100 right now. So they're definitely just one tap from being destroyed here. Spritemare going for the assault on the pipe seam. Actually, that is a great move. I like that. I like that a lot. You gotta destroy the pipe seam. So by destroying the pipe seam, you actually make it so it is so much easier to get your reinforcements to the middle. And you also don't have to go through the choke point, which is extra good. Now, whether or not Mooji senses the plot is another story. Now, if you're paying attention, this is live league. Remember that, folks. So everything is happening right away. So I'm gonna go on a whim here and say that Mooji definitely knows that the pipe seam is under attack, especially after the second attack there. Tank purchase, 2 artillery on the western front as well. Interesting. All right, Mooji going for the interrupt, getting the KO, going for the interrupt on the comm tower. Temporarily does have access to that 150% firepower bonus on the infantry and mech units. Vehicle units also have about 110% firepower now, artillery of 120% firepower. So Mooji is feeling pretty good at the moment. He's feeling like his units are quite powerful. It'll be very difficult for Spritemare to actually contend with that, but with that movement of the artillery, that is a very strong position for that artillery to be in. Now on the flip side, that position is basically going to be mirrored over on the eastern front by Mooji. So both fronts are definitely winning a little and losing a little at the exact same time. All right. Oh, mechs going in and taking 2 engagements. That is going to open up those mechs to a world of hurt, unfortunately. Very interesting. Very risky gamble indeed, but they are 150% firepower mechs. So the counterattack damage is going to be quite significant. Now, let's see what kind of counterattack damage we get. Significant 1 damage there, folks. Not too shabby at all. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't a very big hit, but is what it is, folks. It looks like Mooji is now going to be able to get an attack on the artillery if he can spot it. Easily could just use one of the infantry to move forward to spot it. Or in addition, he could use the mech to spot it. But either way, I have a feeling that artillery is going to get shot on this turn, folks. Ooh, this is a little bit of a tricky situation here as well. Goes for the capture, goes for the attack, and the double tap. There we go, folks. Unfortunately, this does actually leave the artillery open to an attack. Sacrifices his own capture to interrupt the capture over on the eastern front, or western front. That's pretty good. Okay, that's not looking too bad. 25 units to 21 units. It is Spritemare's turn, so Spritemare's gonna be... Ooh, that is a strong position for that infantry right there. That is so much intel right there. Holy macaroni and flipping cheese, folks. Oh, and there goes the artillery. Unfortunate loss of the artillery, but there is going to be a property flip here. Battlecopter on the field now, rushing in very, very quickly. Oh, and that is the end of that push over on the Western Front. Very, very unfortunate. Another battlecopter purchase here. Another, ooh, an anti-air now. Ooh, Mooji sitting at 21 units to 25 units now. Quite a bit less value. Does have access to double time. Could pop it and get a valuable mech strike. But is Mooji the type of guy to hold for Victory March, or is he a double timer? It looks like he is a double timer, folks. See what he manages to do with this double time. Does have a battlecopter on the field now. That's going to be very effective. Going for some more caps in the back lines and smacking that tank for a significant chunk of damage. Nicely done indeed. Ho ho ho! Sneaky little attacks here, folks. Beautiful stuff. So I would say that both players are winning on their respective 2 base fronts at the moment, but losing on their 1 base side. So that's kind of typical of this map. You know, you can't really expect anything more or anything less. Ooh, the copter is roaming in here, and the trap has been set. Tank running away because he knows there's an artillery right there. Oh, if there was another double time available, there could be another double time attack, but that is not going to be an option here today, as the power just does not call for it. There's not enough charge over here from Mooji to go in for that attack right here. Ooh. Mooji is going to have to figure out something in order to contend with his battlecopter, though. Could bring the anti-air forward, but the threat of this tank right here is pretty significant. So I'm very curious to see what he's going to choose to do. Looks like the comm tower may actually be lost here. Maybe not. You know what? It actually might not be lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unflippin' fortunate. So there is an option here that Mooji could do. Obviously, you can move in with the anti-air, destroy the battlecopter. You can move in with battlecopter, attack the infantry. You can move in with mech and attack the comm tower. At the very least, you get to hold on to your comm tower. The city is definitely lost at this point. Mooji has absolutely no idea of the terrors that await him in the fog, though, represented by this anti-air right here. This anti-air is going to be the devil when it comes to Mooji. Mooji, if he goes in and attacks this, that's going to be fantastic, but he might go in with the mech attack and he might interrupt with the battlecopter. So let's see what he decides to do. Let's see if instincts kick in for him here. Yeah, keep it hidden in the forest. There we go, Mooji. There we go. All going in with the mech. Oh, looks like we're going to go in with the battlecopter. No. Nah. So unfortunate. Now, this is a perfectly logical move considering the information that we have. Like 100% totally logical move. So unfortunately, logic has decided that a battlecopter is destroyed this turn. Now, Spritemare continuing with the attack, attacking the anti-air. Tank? Is this tank in position to actually hit this little bad boy over here? No, it's not. Oh, but I fear that the storm is coming, folks. The Winter Fury has arrived, doing 2 damage globally to every opposing unit. And now the fronts are in shambles. What will Mooji do in response to this attack? Does have access to a double time, so we could get a pretty fat mech strike over here. But that's about it. There's not really any other hits that we can do. I mean, we can do something with the mechs over here. We can attack anti-air. We can attack artillery, but that's really only slowing the push down a little bit. It's not really doing anything to significantly stop the push. So either way, double time is popped, and let's see what Mooji can do. We'll move in for a capture. Beautiful capture. Oh, gonna go and attack the freshly bought tank and then sacrifice 2 mechs to get the anti-air clear. Yeah, infantry clear. Yeah, there we go. There we flipping go. Beautiful clear. Double strike right there. So yeah, like I said, it's not really gonna stop the push over on the western front, but it is going to slow it down quite a bit. Allow for a little bit of extra time for some Mexican in there. Considering the snow, it's not really much else that you could do. Now, this is actually a really good position because Mooji, even after taking the global damage, is still a little bit ahead on his turn when it comes to funds. Obviously, Spritemare is going to fire back, do some damage, and then build. So he is going to be probably at least, I would say, like at least half a turn ahead at this point. Maybe even a little bit more. Because there is going to be some significant damage here. We're going to lose a recon, probably going to lose a mech. But I think that's it. That's all that we're really going to lose. So nothing like too significant. Not any super major losses, but definitely a loss. 64,000, so about 20% down at the moment. Finishing some caps and going for the final backline cap. Mooji sitting at 24,000 income. So it does have the income lead, which is fantastic. But Spritemare busting out last turn the classiest unit in Advanced by Web. The classy medium tank. You love to flip and see it, folks. What is Mooji going to do in response to the classy medium tank? Bust out some more artillery. Artillery are very good at shooting the classy boys, folks, especially in Fog of War. Classy boys have to play it very smart when it comes to playing around artillery. Now, it looks like the copter has been destroyed by the triple attack tank, battlecopter, recon, striking that guy down. Very unfortunate loss for that man. Alrighty, now let's see what comes next. Infantry moving in, more infantry moving in. The classiest unit in Advanced by Web destroys the recon. And Spritemare builds some infantry and base skips. Beautiful. Beautiful base skips, folks. What you gotta do? You gotta base skip in Advanced by Web in order to get ahead. If you're not base skipping, then what is even the point of playing? Sorry, folks, I had to text my wife. Alright, continuing on with this matchup. Boom! Fatty battlecopter strikes right here. Is that in range of this one, though? That's the question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, safe. Safest battlecopter in Advanced by Web right there, folks. Oh, my lord. Okay. Oh, Mooji. If only we knew. If only we knew. Could have actually hit the battlecopter. If only we actually got a little bit of vision on it. I don't really know if it's necessarily worth it to go in and strike down the battlecopter, but this actually does do quite a bit of annoying things for Spritemare. Full base surround, artilleries are moving into position. There is a very good chance that this could be taken over, but Spritemare could just bust out another classy medium tank and hold that front for a long time. Over on the western front, though, Spritemare is pushing in super hard over here. Already has the arty lock on the base, but Mooji has the classy boy of the sky. It is here and it is ready to go. I wonder if it's just going to go here and just smack this pipe seam right away. I don't think it's enough to actually get the KO on the pipe seam, but at the same time, the pipe seam is kind of actually helping a little bit at the moment. So maybe not really the best thing to bust that open at the moment. Oh, dearest me, we has ourselves a problem. The battlecopter is locking the flippin' base. And nobody likes it when battlecopters block bases, especially when you don't have, you know, something that can effectively take it out. I mean, you have a 4 HP anti-air right there, but I don't think that's enough to actually do enough damage to the base to actually, to the battlecopter to get it out. Like, how are we gonna dislodge this? This is probably not enough. It's tank in the way. Can Bomber hit the tank? Bomber can hit tank. If Bomber hits tank, maybe we can bust it open. Actually, we probably can bust it open. Battlecopter plus mech should probably clear this, so yeah, that might work. That might work. Mooji Gotta do it, man. Very, very curious, actually. I wonder why Spritemare only built an infantry. You could have actually held this base for a little bit longer, but sometimes holding a base for just a little bit longer is not necessarily really the best thing that you can do. Sometimes it's better to invest solely in taking over the opponent's base. But this guy is about to get blasted open. And once that gets blasted open, then this might actually fall. Let's see if Mooji can make it happen. Double time, and we got the black hole power theme. Here we go, folks. Ooh, let's see what kind of damage. Are we gonna do 80? Oh, would you look at that? Would you just look at it, folks? The clutchest flippin' classy medium tank in Advances by Web. Beautiful stuff. All right, mech strike, capture. Copter. Oh, but there's nothing to block the front though. I'm 95% sure that this medium tank is enough to take this guy down to 3. But is it? Is it? That's the question. Is it enough? There's a possibility that it does not work, folks. It's a very small possibility, but it's a possibility nonetheless. But if Winter Fury is acquired this turn, then it is definitely not going to happen. So it solely depends on what this role is, folks. Is the classy medium tank going to go in and get the role that it needs? Or is it going to fail? And is this base going to be flipped? Find out now. It succeeds in the role, folks. Succeeds in the role. Was there ever any doubt? Probably not. But you know what? There was the small possibility that it didn't work, folks. Have ourselves a little bit of a visual glitch over on the Western Front. Please ignore that. And okay, so what do we do from here? We're going to be able to capture this, and it's going to be able to go down to 1. But we're going to have to join. And then Winter Fury is going to hit, and then this should probably just clear. Unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed, folks. Could have been the greatest base grab in Advances by Web. Going for the join. Did we cap, though? We capped, right? Yeah, we capped. Okay, it's sitting at 1. All this infantry has to do is just survive. That's it. If it survives, it's going to be fine. You know what? Oh, you know what? If we wanted to take the base, we should probably, hold the flippin' phone for a second here, folks. Probably could have taken it. Probably could have taken it. You know what we do? All we do is we just smack this guy. Just smack him. Smack him once. I'm telling you, I want to check this actually before we even consider moving forward with this game, because we're going to be doing 18 to 24% damage. Let's pretend for a moment that we get this on the low end. 9 HP, super co-power, select infantry, boom. Let's say it's at 8 HP. Do we survive? No, we do not survive. But if it goes to 8, there is a chance. There is a chance that we survive at 8 HP, folks. It's actually a pretty good chance. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good chance. Oh well, that's okay. Anyways, carrying on with the match. Mooji playing that long game. You know what I'm talking about? Know what I'm talking about? Playing that long game. Alright, interrupting the captures. And going for a pretty decent surround here. So that's looking alright. But, boom, super cool power pops. Unfortunately, the base is about to fall here, folks. There is nothing that can stop that flippin' classy medium tank. Coming in hot, folks. Get the mouse out of the way here. What is going on? You're blocking the action, friend. Alright, I'm going for those attacks on the base. Oh, now we have a very dangerous situation, folks. Several infantry are now in range of the airport, and if that airport falls, that is also kind of a lose condition, or a win condition, or I guess a lose condition at the exact same time. It's a win-lose condition, folks. That's what it is. You know, somebody wins and somebody loses, and that's all there is to it. In Advanced Wars by Web, somebody wins and somebody loses. Spritemare also has a fighter on the field, folks. That fighter just blocked the base and destroyed the classy boy of the sky. A flippin' capture of the airport is now going through on day 18. The medium tank rushes in. Another infantry pops out of the base, and Mooji is now unable to purchase anything on the western front. This is solely an eastern game on day 19. Is there any way to gain control of this flippin' base? This is the biggest question that is on everybody's mind right now, folks. Goes in for a capture. It's not going to hold long term. Builds a fighter. Mooji staying in the game, not resigning. Playing on increment, thinking to himself, how am I going to get myself out of this situation, folks? Got myself in quite a dangerous little pickle. Quite a conundrum, as some people may say. Spritemare base blocks himself to get an attack with the flippin' battlecopter. Absolutely no fear. Busts out the flippin' soiled abomination. Absolutely terrible. He already won the game, and he's just adding insult to injury with this soiled abomination. Blech. Stinking up the battlefield, folks. But Mooji, the one thing about Sammy is Sammy has Victory March. So there is always the win condition. There is always a way to get it, to get back in the game. All he's got to do is just grab that base with a Victory March, folks, and it is definitely possible, especially with that fighter right there, ready to go. But depends on what he builds. What is he going to build? Builds the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web, folks. Probably the most clutch classy boy of the game. We had some clutch classy boys before, but now this is probably the clutchest one of all. I do not see a way to destroy the classy boy and gain access to that base. But it looks like Mooji is going to be holding on to the Victory March. Busts out a bomber. Now there's a bomber on the field. Spritemare once again has access to the Winter Fury, makes it snow for a third time this game. Mooji's value sitting at 64,014 units as Spritemare rolls in and starts eliminating units left, right, and center, even using battlecopters to finish anti-airs, and busts out a soiled abomination, stinking up the eastern portion of the map now. And that HQ is under massive threat. 2 artillery coming forward, 2 battlecopters, anti-air, 3 infantry, and a whole lot of sorrow. That is it, folks. Whole lot of sorrow. Unfortunately, Mooji has lost this match to Spritemare. Well played to Spritemare indeed. What a match, though, folks. What a match. That match could have honestly went either way. Now, even though Sammy is strong on Frozen Fire, I just don't think Sammy is strong enough in Fog of War to fight against Olaf on this map. But maybe she is. Who knows? Who knows, folks? What I really want to know is what would have happened all the way back on whatever day it was. What happens? What day was it? It was one of these days. Oh god, it was way before this. It was way before this. What would have happened on this day if Mooji had held on to this battlecopter? Would have held on to the battlecopter. Would have lost a mech instead. Battlecopter might have been effective later. So you know what? When it comes to top level games, like high level gameplay, it always comes down to small things like that. The small what if questions. It's like, what if I didn't eat my unit? And what if I just Victory March the HQ? But life is full of what ifs, folks. And we deal in reality. And in all reality, this was a fantastic game between these two players. Congratulations to both. Hopefully you all enjoyed that one at home, and if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.